Welcome back, folks, to the Rogue Trader. Now with vocals. I'm pretty sure I had vocals last time, but no. Sometimes sometimes I'm feeling the thing, I turn the options off. I had a 4 pattern. Oh yeah, this will, by the way, is wishlisted. And this will be played. Well, I had some 4th cycle. When I looked at the last played data for the Path of the Righteous, I have literally split these guys into 2 halves of the month, 2 halves of the year. Christmas to New Year. By the end of Christmas, or by the end of Christmas, we switch from Rogue Trader to Path of the Righteous. And we'll probably continue that cycle. But yeah, we'll probably continue that cycle. So I'd say some point this month we'll probably shift gears from Rogue Trader, the 40k universe, to Wrath of the Righteous, and return to the Gloria. Or rather, we'll return to the Demon City. We are literally just doing one thing here. We're pressing the button. The space walls all around me. We killed the Cruel. We wiped out the thing. The machine is digging for the girth. The Voxcast is producing nothing but static. Hello, can anyone hear me? Oh, Ashira's voice cuts through the static. We read you, Strike Team. This is Lift Control. Report your status. Olon is dead. Ashira responds after a brief pause. Acknowledged, Strike Team. Beginning the extraction of priority cargo. Night fever. Uh-huh. Ah, a fine victory, Ubel. Well, still it's nicking gear, nicking loot. They'll tell sagas about the day the contemptible Orlon fell. The cog priests should offer you a fine cup of mulch for saving their prayer world. Forwald nods at the 2 gaunt bodies in crimson robes lying on the floor. If you hadn't, Oleron would have bathed them in 100-fold more blood. As for you, Ever, Ulfar Thunderlong, you have proven yourself. The Stormbiters will tell all about your feat and your roaring song. I thank you, so Forbald. You and your brothers fought well. You did the wolves proud. It'll be my joy to share a cup with you at the victory feasts I hide. How is your pack? What are your losses? Some of my brothers will carry on fighting their battles in the Allfather's hosts. The rest have survived. We've shed much blood, but a wolf's hide is tough and its spirit is stubborn. When you take us down, you'd better finish it off. The Stormbiters live on this day, and the next. I see you and Ulfar have worked for your quarrels. It doesn't become a noble warrior to bark at his battle comrade after a good fight. Ulfar Thunderlong has proven that the spirit of the baleful Howl is alive and well strong. So let ravens fly where he has walked, and let them tear a bloody harvest left in his wake. Aye, may Blackmane guide you through the blacker night I hide. On all of your pack calls, the painful howl will always answer. I'm sorry, I don't do two more distinctive voices for them. But it has been weeks. And I cannot, and I can not remember what I did for them. What was hidden down there? What was the treasure that Ulron was after? I know not. Calcazar's scales did not allow anyone into the hidden arsenals. All the sea then was dragging a crate to the surface. It is the age-old way. We fight. They sweep up the spoils. Fallbag grimly nods at the pair of corpses. We brought these from below. For all I know, it was his gales that killed them to steal their lips. Yeah. You know what? I can actually see it. If these were down below, then I can see that Calcazar killed them to keep his secrets. You see no signs of violence on the two women's bodies, but their porcelain white skin proves without a doubt they are dead. Their hands are clutched together in a death grip. Ah, the sweet scent of rotten meat tickles my nostrils. But it is not the fallen bodies I smell. It's the hands of Inquisitor's minions. 'Tis what my instincts tell me to. My heart never had a strong faith in Calcazar's words before. But now whatever phantom trust I had is scattering into the smoke. I must ask questions and get answers by force, if that is the way it has to be. I give them a higher chance of coming out of that fight in better condition than Calcazar. Even a Lord Inquisitor doesn't command Space Marines for very long. They can put requests in, and they can push a little bit on their authority. Gives them a little bit of push. But nobody tells, especially if it's a captain or a lord, a chapter lord. Nobody tells one of those guys what to do. But the dude whose keister is on the throne. Yeah, I got a really high. I've got Pascal at over 205. Even though that was a plus 50 difficulty modifier, I've got 200. It's a D100. At 205, he's about double the D. It would take 2 D100s to even have a chance. And that's only if I have a plus 10 difficulty factor. Something strange has occurred on the two women's augmetics, as if they have begun to grow inside their flesh, spreading webs of metal around them. Oh, we've seen that before. After taking a closer look, you realise that every augment seems to have begun mutating, developing new forms and functions not envisioned by their creators. It seems probable that is what caused their demise. So you hear a click inside one of the tech priest's body, and her eyes open wide. Aspadam shakes her gaunt limbs, making Forbad clutch his weapon. Her lips twist into a crooked line, forcing out 2 words. The yoke! Reconstruction impossible, Warren's whisper is barely audible, but the weak voice is coming from her pale lips still sounds more alive than the mechanical hiss of a vox. The shelter has fallen. The maimed hunter comes. Cessation of vital functions inevitable. Her eyes momentarily roll back, but then a metallic churn inside her chest brings her back to consciousness. Reading the unit's Noonsphere signature. No evidence of corruption registered in the algorithms, detecting substantial logic disruptions within the augments. Threat level low. Tech time. There is not a single wound upon her white skin, but there is no doubt she will soon perish. Her augments are failing as if they have been sabotaged by some entropic influence. For a moment, you consider a sign of tech blight, but then you refute the thought. What you are witnessing is not decay, but transformation of the matter from which the tech priest's true flesh is made. Magos Eximantha Heamona. Oh, yep, Hanneman. Oh, it's another Hanneman. There's my identifier. Pascal's mechanandroid snap into a whirling wind of alarm, and the recording vox activates with a click, initiating interrogation procedure. You're not the first servant on the outside I have met who goes by that name. The tech priest responds with a faint, enigmatic smile. You have found yourself at the center of a tangle of paradoxicality. You spoke of a shelter of a maimed hunter. What do you mean by it? This place was a shelter. The Warlord Inquisitor hid me here. And not only me. A high-pitched groan for pain erupts from the words. The maimed hunter, a figure of termination, an unknown variable, Amarant's nemesis. I never met them, but I inferred their existence based on statistical evidence and logical conclusions. The portents of entropy foretell the hunter is near. Pascal, go for it. Pascal switches rapid bionic drills, but Axiom merely shakes her head. Pascal demands loudly. Identifiers are equal. State the reason for the duplication. She closes her eyes and whispers almost deliriously. A portent left by the Messiah. A cog pattern in which the righteous may see the Deus Machinis. After a less than coherent response, Pascal continues sharply. I seek Archimagus Amarant. Where is he? The Messiah of discontinuing was revoked. Pascal says nothing for a while, then inquires thoughtfully. The maimed hunter, what are the unit's status and parameters? Coming concealed. Proceed with caution, for the hunter too sees the Messiah's signs. The unit lacks clear answers. Her cognitive abilities have been damaged, but the analytical data suggests a higher validity to our identifiers being an exact match. It is not consequential or malicious falsification. It is more akin to an act of purposeful direction. Estimated level of threat to Archimagus Amarant increased. The unit, identified as maimed hunter, is now regarded as the most probable source of danger. You can speak more plainly, please. My words obscure. This is regrettable. Processing becomes difficult when you only have half of your mind. Certain notions, data, and logical instruments are left in less functional part of me. How do you know Amarant? Amarant. I was a disciple of the Messiah of Discontinuing. When he was laid low, I found myself here. I hid from my reckoning. I reached out to the omniscience wisdom as I pondered and considered. Logic revealed much to me here, even here, in my prison. The cycle will be discontinued, sister. Pascal speaks the words of the sacred motto with an air of mournful consolation. Hope is illogical, brother. She was me. A phenomenon of flesh divided me into two identical bodies at birth. Twins. The omniscience wisdom let me overcome Earth's physical flaw by braiding the separated mind. I was the first unificate in the fleet. Now this half of me is dead. The rest of my mind is fading. The sympathetic principles is insurmountable. Simply closes her eyes and starts whispering something incomprehensible, sinking deep in the depths of oblivion. Oh, I see, so she's twinned. a twin, they sync their minds together, so two minds, almost like one mind, two body, they'd function as a single unit. Creation of unificates is dangerous knowledge, and has long since been denounced by many a procedure not blessed by the Omnissiah. It is based not on direct prototype envisioned by the precursors, merely on loosely connected technologies. Knowledge will not have the capacity to be absolute until the coming of the Omnissiah. We do not know of such pre-technology, but we can claim with certainty that it never. But can we claim with certainty that it never existed? Do you remember stories about? She's got a point. How can you claim that it never existed? If the Omnissiah has the technology of everything, how can you say it's never existed? The trick never existed. The Gemini crates, the twin magi who joined their minds in their devotion to Mars. I remember. Proponents of the right to create unificates base their defense on this momentous precedent. If you wish to know more, then hurry. The turning of the cog will soon cease. The chapel was attacked. The preservation protocol commanded me to hide in the inner artifactorum and block all outside access to it. Prolonged presence in close proximity to the object was prohibited by the algorithm, but the preservation protocol had a higher priority. The object affected me. I resisted. Resistance led to structural change. Oh. Seriously? The yoke, the weapon we forged at the Lord Inquisitor's command, the destroyer of worlds. Yeah? A device that he had a flesh crafter working on part of. An enigma, the project was kept secret from everyone, including the Smiths. We forged fragments of it. It was a tool for controlling energies of staggering power, and it was not the Omnissiah's blessed gifts that served as its foundation. It was forbidden knowledge, knowledge that we comprehended. Registering we were continuing the work of our mentor, Archmagus Amarnat. It was his wisdom that made our toils possible. Aximanfar's words render Pascal speechless. Against anyone, its power is absolute. The first experiments with this tech were calamitous. The tech blight is merely its echo. Its potential is so much greater. She stops us frightened by her own words. It never should have fallen into the hands of the laity. But the Lord Inquisitor stole it. Its secrets was procured beyond the dimensional gate, beneath the dark stars that passed over Amarnat. Kalkazar destroyed the Messiah of Discontinuing and robbed him, and claimed the secret for himself. He knows, points to Folbard. He was there. Folbard glances at you in shame. She speaks no lie. The first task the Inquisitor gave us in the Expanse was to destroy a cult of tech heretics. The deed was done. With Amarnat. Was he a good priest? Did Kalkazar drag us into something foul? Ulfar looked away and rumbled heavily. I was there too. I fought those judged by Kalkazar. Kalkazar is seriously overstepping his authority. He's grabbed a tech. He's developing a super weapon. As strong as it is, it's useless against the Immaterium. The Immaterium has no physical body. So anything is destroyed will simply shit dissolve into nothingness, and then respawn again the second the gods deign to remake it. But it's very good against, say, people who deny his right of rule. Pascal's vox sounds as if hot metal string stirring just snapped inside. This unit is waiting for an explanation. First he tried to do everything swiftly and quietly, but his agents and the cog priests loyal to him failed to capture the leader of the tech heretics. And that's when he realized he needed an indestructible weapon warriors. He needed us. The cog's scales were powerless against the wolf's might. They brought carnage to explorators' ships and worlds. Ulfar, why did you keep quiet about this? Ulfar mutters his expression as dark as a storm cloud. It was not my concern. Only another's will, and the chapter's business. And I've already told you more about the wolves than many of my brothers would have said in my place. I have no right to judge you, but Pascal does. Pascal utters coolly. Unit Ulfar claims that he was a tool in another's hands. This statement has been archived. Then let every tool be treated as befits its function. Ulfar responds quietly and sullenly. You are a worthy ally. I never meant you or your brother in harm, Cog Priest. As befits its function. Oh, he is not a happy chappy. That is an unhappy tech priest. Fulbar throws up his hands. Nothing, I swear on my honor. He disappeared and so did the ship. And there was no blood upon his upon our hands. And what do you know about the secret weapon? I never even knew there was a weapon. I was told of traitors, and I tracked them down. I claimed no trophies. I had no part in any dark intrigues. You think I would have wished that sneaky, scheming viper to get his hands on something so powerful? I wouldn't even trust him with my axe. I'm not going to blame them per se, because they were literally tricked and duped. They were following their orders, and that was Follower frowns and says in a hell voice, and yet doubt smothers my heart. They will sully our chapter's honour with deeds done for a dishonourable end. A difficult thing to explain to a layman. Metamorphosis phenomena occurred in the object's vicinity. Sacred technology and even ordinary plasteel starts to behave willfully, shifting, reconstructing, and altering their fundamental attributes. Imagine yourself gazing upon the surface of water as disturbed by a stone an era ago, but the ripples never stopped coming. That is what it felt like. The object propagates echoes of change. Her true flesh has betrayed her and become a heavy burden of metal within her body. Something that is not of the Omnissiah's design, something devoid of function. Pascal speaks the last word with audible disgust and sorrow. Why are you revealing secrets to me? I was never his servant. I was forced to serve. When our cycle was broken, he offered me a choice. Submit or die. He threatened to kill half of me if I refused to forge for him. He needed Archmagos Amanat's knowledge, and I had it. I saw no sense in resisting. Yeah, he just extracted it. You betrayed him too. Yes. Our agreement comes easily with a weak smile. Affects are an insubstantial construct of emotion. I acted logically. I continue to comprehend rather than terminate my vital functions. It is difficult to process. Have I fulfilled my duty to the Omnissiah? May I rest now? She looks at you as though she can no longer see you. Attempts to slow down the degradation process are irrational, for they only prolong my suffering. I wish to cease to be. Brother, take my thoughts. Keep them now. Her final words are a faint whisper. Knowledge will not fall into oblivion. Taking great care not to ruin the tech priest's features, Pascal reverently extracts the neural cogitator from her skull. Then he does the same to her sister. The quest for knowledge is the Omnissiah's mission to us. Something foul, the Inquisitor seeks us to use us to obtain a mighty weapon, and that he kept his designs even from us, the All-Father's warriors, sows suspicion in my heart. Does he keep his lips sealed because he knows that we won't support his game? Does the warrant of treason lurk in his mind? Stop the loading. I will inspect the trophies personally. All you hear response is wheezing static. Arisha, the conniving spittle. She silences her vox voices. Forward tries to revive his caster to no avail. By the time we get back to the surface, the Inquisitor's mutts will be gone with their prize. May the wolf that stalks between stars keep the departed souls. Oh, we're heading back to Footfall. An angry Lord Inquisitor is an angry Lord Road Trader is coming back to Footfall. I guess if we go in there, we go in the lift. Yeah, it goes to expanse map. I raided every item. I took everything that wasn't bolted down. Oh, I'll send a Vox. The first thing I'll do is send a Vox to the exploratory fleet and say that your world's been raided. The Lord Inquisitor has stolen tech from you. And committed tech heresy on an unimaginable scale. What's going on here? So me again, Ulfar Thunderlong. Volba gives Ulfar a stern nod, then turns steely to you. Long life, Lord Data. Business has brought us to your Dakar. The trace of Halbrand's encounter with Ulfar's rock-hard forehead are still fresh on his face. The young wolf rests his hand on his axe. Are you in your armor? Greetings, brothers. What brings you here? Ulfar returns Volbar's look with a equally fierce glare. For some reason, he has forgone his magnificent armor today and stands on the bridge clad in little more than a physical perfection inherent to an angel, the Emperor. Fenrir Holger, we thank you for hospitality and kind words, brave Huskil. Thor's face breaks into a wide grin, his affected severity vanishing from his face, even more solemnly. But Ulfar, you swore that you would stand for the honour of your pack, the baleful howl. Did you descend to Urfas too with your brothers? Did you fight? That world my boots did tread, and fallen halls and my victory cries I rode. The day the Allfire Father asks for a reckoning of my deeds, I will not be ashamed to tell them of the siege of Urafas. Who will bear witness to the truth of this wolf's words? We know you, Yobel. We have seen you in battle. We believe you. Show us the scars, brother Ulfar, that we may see the mark of your deeds in the flesh. I did not require any scars to show them off, brother Volbard. Where my scars show them off. Show me the scars, brother, show the scars! Volbard's cries echoed by the old wolves, who banged their fists on their arm in time with the words. The ships begins to vibrate. Stop doing that, Uranus! Ulfar's decision to appear at this meeting without his armour suddenly makes sense. You're watching a ritual, and Ulfar's show of modesty is merely part of the performance. Please stop, all this noise is giving me a headache. It's your brother's honour. He's certainly Ulfar and not a braggart. Ooh. Shush now, 'tis tradition, says Halbard, chiding you like a child. Ulfar turned with ostentatious reluctance to let the light fall from the fresh marks he had received on Urfratus too. You had no idea he had suffered such deep and grievous wounds. The crowd erupts in a roar of approval. Volbard raises his voice to shout over his brothers. Did you take a glorious trophy in the battle as a token of your valor? Ulfar removes a horn he wrenched from the Hellbrute from his belt, and you notice that it's already carved with Fenrisian runes. The wolf proudly shows the trophy to his comrades, causing another explosion of cheers. Proudly thunders the baleful howl. Praise the Allfather for sending such formidable and valiant brothers. Volbard makes a gesture, and Halbrand removes a magnificent axe from his belt, presenting it to Ulfar with a deferential bow. Accept from the Stormbiters this gift in honor of the battle that was fought shoulder to shoulder. Grin of the Iron Wolf. Woo! Nice. That's it? You're all best friends now? Of course, rogue trader. Ulfar is a glorious brother, and any one of us would gladly die for him. Do not seek to understand wolves. Only the one born from Fenris can understand the nature of our friendship and our enmity. I and the Stormbiters are my brothers. It has been an honour to hunt with you all. The wolf hands you a data slate. The coordinates displayed on it are a monstrous distance from the inhabited worlds of the expanse. I will not stand in Ulfar's way. If you choose to go searching, but, brother, you have proven the glory of your pack. It is not time to sever this wired frit. With respect, I once again extend my offer to join the Stormbiters. The pack's plasteel marks are resting in Volbard's outstretched hand. Forgive me, brother, but I must decline your offer, though my heart fills with joy at the thought of fighting alongside you. Ulfar draws a knife adorned with scarlet runes and slices his palm. I, Ulfar Thunderlong, swear before the Black Mane, and by the blood of the Fenris, that I will not cease to seek my pack until my eyes behold them, alive or dead. May have an incredibly long lifespan, so they have time to look. I understand, brother. Fuller sighs with regret. May Black Mane run beside your path. Fortify yourself. Stoke your rage. I see that your heart is darker than the waters of the world seed. So I ask you, take care that you do not join those with whom we do not speak. Of those whom we must... Harbard cleared his throat and opened his mouth to reply, but he catches the sharp glance of Ulfar and Forbad and swiftly changes his mind. You do not need that knowledge at Fetter. There are paths in the forest that only wolves also tread. Well, go look at your new axe. Forbad grins with pride as he looks upon the magnificent weapon. Our rune priest quenched it in the blood of the despicable world bearers who fell on Irophas II. The blade is enamelled with the bone mail from the proof of the Fenrisian Kraken, and it's graved on it are the names of all the brothers of the baleful Howl Pack. You know that the name inscribed on the Fenrisian weapon, can mean different things, whether glorification of past heroes or commemoration of the fallen. Ulfar runs his fingers over the symbols, lingering first on one name and then another. You are no expert in Frisian runes, but you can make out two of these. Arnulf, Ulf, and Skiarid. Thank you for this gift, word of your Varagrin Ironhide. The Varagrin Ironhide. Ulfar tests the weight of the new weapon, and his face bears a satisfied expression seen only on the faces of true warriors who have found the perfect weapon for their hand. I see you have decorated your trophy from Irophas II. With something of a flourish, Ulfar shows you angular yet graceful scripts of runes that wind around and around the gleaming horn. When I return to Fenris, I will drink Mjolnir from this while singing the saga of a march into the Cross Expanse. So, what now? Well, we should probably return to our deck here. You sense a question mark at the end of Forbad's sentiment. Ulfar's face becomes serious and he gives you a significant look. I can hardly let the glorious wolves of Fenris leave without first treating them to a fine feast. It's like, that was a slight nudge there of, oh, well, shall we return to our ship now? Or shall we have a feast? Hint, hint, hint. The wolves burst into shouts of approval, and someone with a gravelly voice starts singing a merry song. No doubt. One about massacres and glorious deaths on the battlefield. The kitchen servants here are certainly no match for those serving in the great halls of Fenris, but the masters of this decker are not lacking in hospitality or generosity. The small group of space wolves is enough to fill your entire magnificent ship with clamour, shouts, and other portents of the coming feast. A formidable feast in which eating, drinking, and singing will be done the way wolves do all things, to their last gasp. Excellent, so that's that done. Bruin. Wait for agents to approach with news. Alright. I'm not sure when they got that, but hooray! Wait for Argento to approach with news. Ah. Alright. Are you down here? You are, Ulfar.
Let us raise our cups at Fator, in honor of deeds accomplished, and in expectation of those yet to come.
So, now that you know where your brothers were heading, what will you do?
Help you to deal with the enemies who besieged your home, and then head for the coordinates that Thorvald gave me. Well, I know, Edvater, that you are dauntless, and if I but say the word, you will join me in my seeking. But the place I will voyage to is a perilous one. Few can survive in it, and though duty leads me there, I do not want my debt to be paid with your blood. It is wise to hide one's past from a stranger, but shameful to hide it from a friend. Ask away.
Okay. How do you become an Astartes?
I was a seafarer. Every spring we would go out onto the world sea and slay many armed krakens and ravenous sea drakes. And then the season of fire would come, and we would dock on Asaheim to battle for our clan's right to inhabit that land. I was young, but already fierce, and facing down foes twice my size. The chooser of the valiant, who had watched the fateful battle from the cliffs, deemed me worthy and took me to the Fang for healing. My clan was proud. I spent years in training before I passed through the dreaded gate of Mordkai, bowed on the runestones before both his heads, and walked into the Valley of Dreams. As for what I saw there, do not ask me. That is between me and the Death Wolf. The Rune Priest scoured my soul, but found it untouched by corruption. I returned, and I partook of the cup of Wolfen. The Canis Helix entered my blood, and the agony of transformation changed my body to resemble that of a beast, and my mind was drowned in the dark depths of bloodlust. My return from the dark was long and cost me greatly. When I stood in the hall of the Fang once more, the Rune Priests imbued my body with the remaining gene seed and implanted the necessary organs. But those trials were nothing compared to what I had already endured.
What happened in your final trial?
When I overcame the darkness of Wolfen in my soul, I set out for the Fang. Every neophyte must undergo a hunt during this journey. One might fight a fearsome wolf, another a sly snow worm. I crossed paths with a doppelgrendel, a cunning and rancorous spirit.
Oh, it's a nasty one.
For 5 days and nights did we bring our wits and wrath to bear in battle. The spirit changed its guise, but in the end, I gouged out its eyes. Fleeing, it hissed a curse. Nowhere would I find an honorable death, vowed the creature. My saga came to an abrupt and inglorious end.
Demons doing that? Pretty nasty.
Moldering and fraying at the edge. When I made my return to the Fang, clutching that crushed eye, the Rune Priest looked at me, and his face grew grim. But he said not a word, save to confirm my victory.
What is not a curse but a gift? A gift of a long life and many great exploits.
A gift straight from the Seven Hells! What is the valor of a deathless warrior worth? Where is greatness in the exploits of one who shrinks from death? When the wolf time comes, and my fallen brothers march into the final battle, where will I be? Sitting alone in the Fang beside a fire that went out long ago? The ages weigh heavily on my hands and heart, and one day I will be too tired and feeble to wake up and rush into the fray. What will they call me then? Ulfar, who slept through the battle? Ulfar, Mordekai's unwanted. Everything on Fenris has power. I have fought in 100 battles and suffered 100 injuries. Even wolves are not certain to survive such grievous maiming. But I always survived. And with each new victory, my thoughts took a darker turn. What if I truly am destined never to die with honor? What if my death will be foolish and inglorious? Each time I bury a brother, I secretly envy him.
Ulfar's mournful words land heavy, like cliff rocks cleaving off into the sea. His face darkens until it resembles a grim idol hewn by primitive people. Yeah, for a warrior type that, like he says, a deathless warrior that cannot, but time may eventually make him too old to wield his axe.
Many times I have heard the clicking of Mordekai's fangs next to my ear. But I have never allowed him close enough to sink them into my rump. That is my moniker, yes. My voice knows no fatigue, whether fighting or feasting. I can recite the glorious sagas and terrify foes with my battle cry for hours. Oh, this fine name was given to me by my loyal friends, Arnulf Bloody Axe and Skadi Twice Thinker.
Tell me about those two.
The bonds between us were many. Arnulf was my sworn brother. It was he whom I faced down in the battle where the chooser of the Valiant noticed me. Arnulf too was deemed worthy. We went from bitter foes to setting aside the enmity between our clans and becoming close friends.
Ulfar shows your blade
He
covered
gave
in
me
runes.
this blade to show that the past was forgotten. Quick to laugh was Arnulf, and
Arnulf.
fearsome in a fight. Almost as fearsome as me. Skadi Twice Thinker. Well, he was sent to us by the Allfather to see that we did not meet our deaths as young pups. He had enough thoughts in that head of his to make do for me and Arnulf both. It was Skadi who taught me to compose verses. The spirits prized his wisdom, and the runes hearkened to his voice. When the Xenos took me prisoner, Arnulf caught up with them and slew a score of them with his fine axe. And Skadi called down a storm so mighty that the abomination's jet bikes were whipped into the wind's furious currents like leaves. But even that was not enough to take them all. We were captured. Tervantius took Skadi first and turned his body into something unthinkable. Then he took Arnulf, and during the many hours of torture, my brother's only response to the freak was disdainful laughter. And then he fell silent.
This means we must perform feats of glory in their honor.
And their sagas will be sung in the Hall of the Immortals, sowing valor in the hearts of the young.
Any of your answers?
I enjoy telling stories. Fenris Hjolda.
Fenris Hjolda. So he's got a demon curse on him. That means you won't stop him from dying a glorious death, as he puts it. It's not the first one to have that done to them. It's a very popular thing for demons to do. Quite a few demons do this. They have a penchant for inflicting "you shall not die" curses on people. Argenta does not try to hide her excitement. Rogue Trader, at last we can speak. The victory of Eurithus II was invaluable, and in and of itself. But what great fruit it bore! I know now the way to Salis Prime, the planet where the great relic of the Imperium lies hidden. My heart longs for battle, Rogue Trader. I have dreamt of a chance to kneel before the relics for so long, and it's right there on that planet. And so the heretics who dared to stop me from doing so last time. My gratitude is yours, Rogue Trader. Right, where's Salis Prime then? Third man's chest. Salia Prime, Salius Prime. Well, for all the Prime. Should actually head there just to get the points. To the Imperium. Oh, seriously, what is it? Arrest here. Alright, so from where I am, why is it deadly when it's not deadly? Won't travel there. See, I'd like to go here, up here. The path from there almost a bit awkward. I need to go from here. Drop down to here. Then here. So the line goes to here, Von Valance, essentially back home. To home. Now where's the biggest path line? I can't even call this, I don't have enough navigator sight, I'll use it all up. Tekla system. So there. Goes down to here. It's a path that gives me the Tekla system. Oh, it's that warp travels. Your Lordship, Choir Master is reporting that the astral path signal it says the following: Archimagos Hermeticus is calling the unit Pascal Hermann directive visit proxy. Purpose discontinuing cycle. Oh, lovely. Now he's got something to do. According to my data, the lost sacred vessel of Hermetico is the flagship headquarters. The last confirmed location of Archimagos Arman. Net. I hereby request permission to immediately embark on this expedition. No data is available. Available. No high office. Available. Justification is irrelevant. If the blessed Amarant summons me, I must comply with the directive. I am coming, Mentor. Not the worst thing that can happen on a jump, to be perfectly honest. Okay, from there to there. Where you on your quest going to take? Well, where's your quest taking me? System Spectacle. What the? Spectacle, where are you now? Arrows palm. Pulse. Oh no. Sublime close there. And Earth is a system. Palm. Omnicron. Wonders. Then. Reach rear. I am trying to find the spectacle is. Am I just blind? System Spectacle. Symptom, Roswell, Riftway, San Mantras, Nima, Silabanco, Mundus, Nimas, Tritos, and Twins, System Speckler, there it is. Well, he's actually quicker because he can get to there and go jump straight this way. Whee! Ah, great, we can do damage. System Speckle, then jump. Another one here. I mean, this one's also a pretty good one, so it goes all the way down to here, right next door. If I can hit there, backtrack, hit that, jump north. I mean, Pascal's system is right here. So, wouldn't make too bad a sense. Too bad a thing to make the jump to that system first. Is right here. And yes, I do note that I have got about 4,000 points supposed to do. But we'll hold off on them for just a moment. I mean, you can't look nothing but some two-handers. And even that, I give him a melee weapon. Stone bolter. Essentially, you get a melee weapon to go with some. Cool, but these have worked out pretty well so far. We have no headgear for him. It would appear not. And headgear. Yeah, his headgear's missing. So we get to pick up a headgear. It changes at some point. So we head up here first. And backtrack here, jump to the top. Whoop. We're nary a thing, nary a problem. Nice. Well, he's there. We'll repair that. You know, well, let's just double check the ship's stuff is actually there. We got all that stuff because it seems to go bye-bye sometimes. There's all hotels here. I'll stand by, let's say we discontinue. Confirmed, the number of adherents to the discontinued cycle does not correspond with earlier prognosis. The willingness to declare one's commitment to the teaching of Amarant is anomalous. This unit is intrigued. Yes, your lordship. We're picking up traces of recent combat on many vessels, numerous traces. Based on initial radiation, background assessment, it appears that an Adeptus Mechanicus weapon is being used against them. I hypothesize that the schism within the Customs fleet has reached a climax. My tech comrades raised arms against one another. It is with sorrow I register this information in the archive. Your lordship, we're going to the ship's facility. Arc Mechanicus Hermetico. Let's go. We picked up a vox signal coming from her. Permission granted. May the Messiah of the discontinuing reveal the way to a safe looking gate. The raspy voice of the person who recorded the message is vaguely familiar to you, but you can't put your finger on it. Requesting the right to participate in the first boarding party. Evaluating shuttle detecting options. Each arc is a sanctuary for the Adeptus Mechanicus. Every ship is a relic. They are incredibly ancient, and were made to search for the sacred standard template construct patterns. Legend tells of entire forge worlds that were literally disassembled for parts to make such vessels. Or in any case, she is in ruin of a former glory. We observe numerous traces of internal decompression, but a single sign of aggression carried out from outside. For what's worth, some of the decks look intact, at least from the outside. Whilst we have a strange radiation emanating from the hull, we believe the ship has been in the possession of the damned for a long time. At the moment, your lordship, the damage to the hull makes position difficult. And surviving the vacuum, locks are sealed shut. I hypothesize that the proper vacuum lock may be opened using my personal access code. Justification: a message from the Arc Mechanicus. Okay. Right, you're going, and these guys combined are an incredibly deadly fighting force. 2 Xenos, a Space Wolf, a Navigator, a Tech Priest, and a human. Quite frankly, this is turning into my You die, crew. I mean, yeah, sure, Argenta's nice because she's smaller and she can go in the spots that Ulfar can't. But Ulfar's also incredibly hard to kill. Mm. Right. You know this place is scarily dead. Just saying. Oh, Abel's here. Quiet and mysterious as always, Abel Hanneman's demeanour is a mixture of cautiousness and curiosity as he inspects the ship's ruined interior. Approach him. He acknowledges you, saying softly, "Death's footsteps were heard here. My tech comrade insisted on taking part in this excursion. It is as much of a priority mission for him as it is for me. To meet our mentor. A hunt. The hunter is coming." The hunter, the maimed hunter. Pascal plays a mechanic claw on Abel's shoulder, and Abel nods. The maimed hunter, the persona occurred in the data I encrypted. Unfortunately, some total of information is very near zero. The cycle is on the verge of being discontinued. Doubt has opened its maw wide, bidding us enter. Halls of this holy ship feel strangely familiar to me.
Let's seize the moment.
Okay. There you go, the ship's a bit of a wreck. So... Okay.
Let's see this through.
They're dead and all the tech tribesmen are running around. Oh, you are the chief though. And probably have to talk to you to move further forward. The lean, hunchbacked man studies you with his piercing gaze. One of his eyes looks you up and down, the other has been replaced by a bulky augmetic. Ancient and adorned with gold, but is deactivated for some reason. He says in a dry voice, "The ghosts of nothingness have entered the deck of the Arshan tribe." "It does not matter. You are ghosts." The man shrugs indifferently, his voice tinged with sympathy. The middle-aged man carries a placenta coil on his shoulder, after the manner of tech priest. It is held in place by straps and is not connected to anything. His weight has given him a hunched back. One of his arms has been replaced by an exquisite tech scribe augmetic, but the quills and style are incredibly dull, and as though they have been scraped against a bare rock. A limb servo motor is dormant. A sign of mangled augmetic elicited a pain grimace from Pascal. "I am registering evidence of precious true flesh being operated in unacceptable conditions. The markings indicate that this sacred metal was fashioned many centuries ago on blessed Mars. Putting it on such a crude and careless use is an insult to the Messiah." Hypothesis: the primitive community is made up of descendants of low-ranking technomats who once served this deck. The name Aesgent derives from category A, Archgen. AC stood for Acolyte category, which served the main deck. Gen referred to the service staff who were assigned general, as opposed to specialized maintenance duties. The man looks at you and Pascal with indignance. He does not seem to have understood a single word. We hold a vigil for all of existence, and the spirits of the machine mechanisms give us water, food, and nutrient mix. We thank them for that with rights of machine servicing and maintenance. So commands the great entity. I am registering multiple deviations from catechism of maintenance and operation action of these units. Hypothesis: the breach of sacred instructions do not stem from malicious lapse into heresy. They are consequence of the right having been lost to memory. A grave heresy, but not as profane. In other words, they want to do the job, but they don't know how to do it properly. Supreme Deity, Spirit of Wisdom and Revelation. It bears the name Ma'anat. The name grabs Pascal's attention. He says sternly, I am registering a meaningful linguistic pattern, requesting all available information on Ma'anat. Ma'anat is a divine being of great wisdom. It was this great wisdom that discontinued the cycle, and all who have partaken of it lapsed into nothingness. We never partook of the wisdom, which is why we exist. And I have nothing to tell you about it, Ghost. I am Fabricator General. My shoulders bear the sacred burden of leadership. He shifts his shoulders, bent under the potential coil resting upon them. The others fear you, as ghosts can carry the living away into nothingness. But I am protected by Ma'anat's grace. The Fabricator General, I am registering heresy. The man listens to detect police outbursts without flinching. The universe must have a Fabricator General, Supreme Priest of the Omnissiah. There is none other to hold that title, therefore it is mine. In other words, they've picked a title that is for the job, and he's the only guy who's got it. Sorry, I don't click on the option. The echo of an old crying was heard beneath the arching vaults of our home. A ghost of nothingness walked among us, of like appearance to you, but without a face. He spoke words that must not be spoken, and then penetrated the chamber of the Observus. And our abode was shaken by the wrath of the god for days, and we felt as though we were drifting through nothingness. That's him. That's my mentor, Ma'anat. His brow bore the mark of sorrow and past misdeeds. His voice was like sleeping sand. No, our ghost walked with him, but he alone had a mind and will. The others did his bidding. An abode of deities and mighty spirits, secluded from mortals. The man gestures. The man points towards the entrance to the lift shaft. Down this great tube they used to ascend to the mortals. Now they will retire to the house of Observus, the calm and keen-sighted, there to remember them more in the world that was once. The unit has given us a distorted description of the Zovtorum, the bay that housed the Amicus Bridge. There, under a grand dome of glasscrete, the wisest hierarchs of the Mechanicus would spend time on reflection and strive to discern the Omnissiah's guiding signs in the glitter of the stars. Pascal hesitates and then adds sturdily, correction, this data is a hypothesis. An archive search yielded no confirmation of this data. My possession of it is an anomalous cognitive function. I don't think you are who you think you are. Abandon this fort. Your kind cannot go in there. The great tube was made for the travel of gods, not mortals. Only one who has the ability of Perth, the great spirit who rules this deck, may approach the great tube. But even such one will have tried in vain, for the great true spirits have sealed this gate and will only open it to those who know the divine word, and the Rust race ensure that humans don't steal the word. They make short work of any thief. Oh. I clicked that one back too soon. master of Dek, the second most important god after Manat. Mortals cruelly betrayed his trust once, and he hasn't taught them or protected them since. Pref only answers to the shaman's invocations, and only occasionally at that. The tribe and profane speculation most likely describe an important machine spirit that remains awake. Plus a conversation with the unit identified as the Shaman. Words command all of all existence. The gods ruled the universe using the words of power. There was a time when mortals too were granted knowledge of them. That time died along with the world. I hypothesize the term divine word refers to command litany. Well, a thorough understanding of the situation aboard the Hermeticus will allow me to select the correct litany and recite it as still operational. Ram points to one of the motionless statues. The ancient ones, the sons of the gods, they used to be the gods' great warriors. Now they guard the peace of this universe, cemetery, and see to it that mortals don't challenge the divine order. The Skitarii, the Deck Guard, these immortal servants, are an elite detachment of the crew blessed with the most ancient and wondrous augmetic enhancements. They could survive in a sleeping state for several centuries even. After a brief pause, a whisper comes from the box. Their presence here is unusual. Typically, the immortals only leave their storage chapel on special orders from the bridge. He knew the secret. The spell was not a divine origin. Its power surpassed that of the gods. It was born in the mysterious depths of irregularity, and soon after a mortal fist first uttered it, the word has no more. The world was no more. Pascal wears a mechadendrite at him in annoyed dismissal and says impatiently, "The Blessed Amaranth can command any mechanism on this ship. The indoctrinal heresy uttered by this unit is unworthy of attention." Then he's taken back, he paused to think and then said with no great confidence, "This statement is false. Each of the hypotheses was logically deduced from our present situation." I like that. Well, your guess was spot on. I see. I will take my leave. Farewell, ghost. I hope nothing that summons you back into its embrace soon. All the ghosts. So, Skitarii. Nope. Where is space now? Okay, me pappy. Power and loot in the top corner. Drink.
Forge ahead. Never linger.
So, someone out here is a priest. Yeah, for you this is a crime scene. There's the lift access. There you go. The shaman. The elderly tech shaman looks at you with dim eyes. Smells strongly of exhaust fumes. "Have you come to speak to the great Pref, ghosts? Pref will not speak to your lesser tongue. I can help. I can interpret." The aging trite barbarian skin is covered with tattoos and mechanisms. It is as if ink drawings of cogs could pass for actual augmentics. Wires and scraps of flex tube being braided into his hair, as well as shards from a broken display screen. Cogitator circuit boards hang on threads from his large and ceremonial drum. I am registering category 6, 7, 8 blasphemies in this tribeman's vestments. Only enlightened tech priests are authorized to dismantle and interact with the bodies of sacred machines. And painting the skin is a crude imitation of true flesh is a profane mockery. It is how I venerate the iron spirits who have done their duty and passed on into nothingness ghosts. I do this in hope that I may gain some of their wisdom. This statement is false. I am not registering any veneration. Tech priest rages the roaring mechanical sensor and inhales a lungful of his aromatic exhaust fumes. The Dryman's eyes grow dim and he puts his hands on his drum. His fingers strike the taut synthetic lever with remarkable deftness and rhythm. Like this. Even at this point, Pascal's like, oh, for the love of God. It's just like, oh, for the love of God, guys. Pascal frowns and says darkly, I am registering a category. I got it. Blast it, layman, this blessed smoke is meant for the sacred machines, not your lungs. Then the tech priest falls silent and listens carefully before uttering in astonishment. This primitive melody is a language, our language, a variety of rhythmic-based tech vernacular in which meaning is created in lengths of pauses between the signals. Oh, like he's like ah. Even Pascal's going to the stage of oh God, I don't care anymore about being precise. I will, if I have to spend the next 20 years here, I will teach you guys how to do this properly. The iron priests of Fenris can speak Beheric using flutes, drums, and bone rattles. Some of the rituals they use to appease the machine spirits loathe the sound of the vox. Deck's great patron spirit, who protects it and watches over everything that happens on it. Pref used to be kind, a kind father to us until wicked people tricked him. That was when he disowned the mortals who lived here. He wiped the names of everyone who used to be under his patronage from his memory, and no longer recognizes their faces. Since then, Pref has been harsh and cruel-hearted master who is deaf to our prayers. Pref. Hypothesis. The barbarian is using this debased designation to refer to a prefect enumerator, and especially sacred cogitator served by all the next junior machine spirits. I am registering a Category 6 blasphemy. The tribesman claims to communicate with it. Only enlightened adepts of the Omnissiah are permitted to interact directly with a prefect enumerator. Hypothesis. Part of the legend that speaks of disowning the mortals and forgetting their faces requires the removal of access rights from authorized units. For a reason unknown, the prefect enumerator was ordered to cease accepting commands from outsiders. Every word you say is accompanied by a series of quick drum taps in complete, choppy rhythm. Crackling comes from a response from a vox hidden somewhere inside the wall. The tech shaman tilts his head and says, "The great Pref would like to know who is speaking to him." "Oh, this is you, hold on, I need 2 drums now." "Hold on, let's get free." Wow, this is going to be a long session. The prefect enumerator is running an identification procedure. Given existing data on the machine spirit's refusal to follow orders within chain of command, I predict the standard identifiers will be assigned a low priority. Introduce yourself formally. This unit is Magos Explorator Pascal Hanneman, a member of the Cognizance Fleet, presenting doctoral compliance and algorithmic obedience certificates. The indicator in Pascal's neural object glows. New data lights up in Pascal's noonsphere aura that no layperson can see. Tech Priest translates Pascal's words and quick taps on his drum. His dangling circuit boards jingle dramatically. He inhales aromatic exhaust in his roaring sensor, listens carefully, and says in a strange voice, "Pref asks why he should treat your words with respect and not scorn them." Pascal's voice becomes dry and bristly. The machine spirit is requesting to know the unit's access privileges. It refuses to submit to a stranger's will without a compelling reason. The machine spirit can be capricious and undisciplined. After years without sanctified maintenance, this one may have forgotten all about obedience. Normally, in cases like this, a tech priest would bring the wayward spirit into senses with a shock from an electrical prod or a blow for a wrench, accompanied by a litany of uninterpretable obedience. The hypothesis is of merit. This unit is conducting a rescue mission in which the safety of the Archimagos rank unit is at stake, requesting emergency authorization. Tech Priest translate Pascal's words in a sharp staccato of drum taps, then nods in the important errand, says, inquires why you are seeking his friendship. Hypothesis. The prefect in human request is to be interpreted as, what is the purpose of your visit? You know the answer yourself, Pascal. This isn't going to work so well because we are on a mission from Amaranth. I am following the orders of my mentor, Archmage Amaranth, and correcting a mistake made decades ago. Listens, striking from a hidden vox response, and shakes his head. The Great Express does not recognize your name or your face. He will not grant you his friendship and bid you to leave. He says angrily, and he shakes his head. The prefect Numinator's reaction is anomalous. Such disregard for regalia can be explained by a protocol signifying an extreme degree of danger to the vessel. Okay, so we need to figure out a way to get around this guy. Pillaging supplies. Right, I'm registering protocol violation. Use a weapon by adepts and mechanical soldiers inside one ship's base.
Onward to victory.
The Inquisitor seems dead. Only gun with life left in him. Numerous ometic regalia embedded in the body of the servant of the speaks of his high standing and devoutness. Yes. Tech Priest carefully touches Servitor's withered body with his mandrakes. Dare spikes slide out of them and sink into the Servitor's ometics. Sounds thoughtful and slightly puzzled. I identify this unit as Magos Logos Hecaton 11. This unit receives 7 commendations for advanced astrography record in the Fleet Archive. The unit he liked watching the stars. He called them beacons left for us by the Omnissiah. So gives a jolt, raises his head and fixes ometic eyes on you. The large black circles from his visors are cloudy and covered in scratches. A pained moan comes from the speaker in the son's throat. Unit status operational. Unit identifies itself as no data available. Malfunction. The Omnissiah knows what. Pascal sighs heavily. He is suffering. This unit was long past its operational life expectancy, but the particularity ancient and sacred true flesh it was awarded for its outstanding service to the fleet is still prolonging its years. This statement is false. My archive has no record of any encounter with this unit or any archive requesting concerning it. I just know, and I grieve. Pascal touches the Servitor's pale skin covered in inky cartography. The tribespeople inscribed his body with the blessed manual of maintenance and repair. Hypothesis. Ignorant as to the true purpose of this litany, they perceived it as a health replenishing magic spell. Tech Brother Hecaton 11. This unit identifies itself as Pascal Hanneman. Can you hear me? Do you know me? Can you tell me what happened here? A jumbled sound comes from Soto's speakers, as if a very old man who has outlived his faculty to speak is trying to utter once familiar words now strange to him. Then suddenly a spark lights up in his visor, and he utters a great strain, executing function, all reserved capacities engaged in executing primary function. Request denied. Soto's voice could only easily be mistaken for indignation. Access solicited and denied. Service the Obscuratora mode. An Obscuratora is a complete ban on holy ministry within the compound. Any and all sacred maintenance procedures are deferred until after the ban is lifted. An Obscuratora is declared when a temple has been compromised by a suspected corruption, before a battle, or in the event of a major critical incident. It cannot select the appropriate countermanding order without knowing the exact reason the Obscura was declared.
Stay sharp.
Let's have a gander around the ship, because I need to find what's went on here so I can get the necessary data to get through. Electricity. Melt charge.
Let's seize the moment.
The urgent tank is something like a ritual font.
Let us see what I found.
I found something.
Marching ahead.
Ooh, I found myself a glove. Heavy lifters and gas mask. Not giving much clues to work with.
Let's see this through.
That's all the hell we can get to. So... Okay. That seems okay. You know the answer yourself, Pascal.
Forge
Okay, that's all
ahead. Never
change. So
linger.
I'm missing information. As the other world aspires great continuing the cycle of monotone universe, as always continued. A long time ago. Same is true, the world ceased to exist a very long time ago. It turned to nothingness, to ash. All that's left are these ruins. The last shards of the universe. Its cenotaph. The unthinkable was wrought. The cycle discontinued. Full of most unenlightened superstition. Why does he seemingly know less than some primitive barbarian? Is that good or bad? Neither. It just happened. It was a grievous event, and we grieve. Yes, there's only enough outside the ship. Sometimes spits out ghosts born out of the world's ashes and they wander in. The sight of you saddens us, for we mourn you. Alas, there's nothing we can do to help you, since you do not exist. Okay, so that's why you think we're ghosts. Good to know. Okay, so according to the journal, I find clues that will explain why the lift is blocked. Meet the person. So I need to get to this observation deck somewhere, somehow.
Onward to victory.
Able. Sacred Architect and the profane have mixed, like tainted water and sacred urgent. Sudden smile appears on the face. This had happened before. The spirit transcends the body. The matter in which it manifests itself transformed into something like more spirit-like. What do you think happened to the ship? An epiphany, followed by doubt, followed by debate, followed by judgment. No, a lack of judgment. A contradiction, a dilemma, resulting in antagonism. A conflict. There was a conflict here. Now everything is clear. A battle was fought here, and during preparations for it, Amanat declared the Observatorium off limits, even to fellow servants of the Omnissiah and explorators. It was an internal conflict, and he expected his erstwhile tech comrades to become his enemies. Right. Okay, so now we're going to meet Perth Spirit.
Venture forth.
To know. Is false. The idiom and the distinctive vernacular most likely only used by the ship's crew. Is intuitively familiar to the unit, but not intelligible. It was sent by the Supreme Conclave of Constance Fleet to investigate Paten Code Regalia. Okay, let's go on. The Magos Explorator decorated with 1 grade promotions and entitlements and attack. Supreme Hierarch. My duty is to serve the machine god. I intend to protect the ship and the sons of Omnissiah aboard it. Maybe I can talk to him now. Second pronouncement, this unit orders the operation of unit hierarchical rank not recognized, authorization to give orders unconfirmed, awaiting confirmation. This unit is not part of Hermetical's chain of command. It must introduce itself to the ship's system for confirmation of its authority. Alright, so that's why we need you. Although the statement is false. Give it a clout. My power is my authorization. Acknowledge it, or you will regret it, wayward spirit. Ulfar clutches his charm with one hand, a battle-ready weapon with the other. You hear him whisper faintly, "Spirit Wolf, shield my soul from the terrors of the warp and ire of angered spirits." Shouts in fear and shakes the room frantically. Breath acknowledges your power, Ghost. He does. He asks you why you seek his friendship. Please, don't. It's like, I'm one of the only guys on the ship that can actually hurt you. Be very careful how you say what you say next. Okay. There's not honor your reason for seeking your friendship. Okay, so that's... I think we're getting there. Give him a club. Boing. Okay, so that didn't work out. How come this continue the cycle? Your name or your face? Okay, so... name or face. That was different. The previous time, unfortunately I can't see on this thing. See, name or face. Before he does not acknowledge your power, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Does not honor your reason. So, come to plead. Then we give him a clout. Warp. We'll try this one. Hey! Through a bit of a case of trial and error, and through some brute forcing, but it was different that time because we chose the first one, we chose the second. Sorry, we chose the Messiah discontinuing cycle, then gave it a good stout kick to show us our presence, and then give the third option. That seems fine. The Hick Shaman listens to the crackling that comes from the response and opens his mouth to say something, only for Pascal to interrupt him in a tone of authority. The prefect enumerator has stated that he knows my name, is familiar with my power. He respects my mission and grants me a place within the crew's chain of command. Your work is done, by Harrick Interpreter. Pascal looks at you and adds with a slight surprise, I remember this language now. More precisely, this unit used to know it, and now it remembers having known it. The tech priest turns towards the wall with a sacred mechanism concealed inside it and says, doubtfully, I am registering an anomaly. The data exchange deviated from the standard registration procedure. The prefect enumerator was commanded to limit the number of people who have clearance to issue orders, including even high-ranking tech priests from our other ships. It was tasked with defending the observatorium as if it were under siege. Our mutual introduction rather resembled an exchange of secret passwords. Oh, done the job. Officers, show him the prefect enumerator's authorization that confirms your right to give orders. Hypothesis: as soon as this opens up, the observatorium is operational, we will be attacked. The deck guard will activate and attack us, requesting confirmation of readiness for combat. Do it. Raising his voice, Tech Priest solemnly repeats his command to the servitor. In the name of the great Omnissiah, open, I command thee. An intricate, momental, and piercing Baharic aria pours from Pascal's voice. Encoded in its signals is Hanneman's authority to give orders on the ship. The servitor stares at Pascal with vised eyes and bows his head awkwardly. Regalia identified. I greet the venerable Magos and will execute the order presently. Lift system activated. The servitor's last words are drowned out by a harrowing screech that rolls across the deck. As several shrill voices wail, "Security perimeter breach for the Omnissiah." Whoop. Oh, the tech guy's going, nope, run away.
Challenging me was a mistake.
Run! Right. Pascal's good going forward, that's fine. Same for Mazurai, he's also good up near the front. Ulfar is a walking tank, so we can see here. We'll take snake positions. You think these will be war? Shield Craftsman appears up in the turn order, so that's fine. It's a bit weird though that only this spot here comes in walls cover. Oh well. Well, float's getting built. Oh yeah, this is definitely a spot where we want to have the range combat thingy going off with this lot all getting buffs. Ulfar access cover.
Request approved.
Should get a good 5 on this. Well, I've got 4, so that's fine.
The Omnissiah knows all,
Comprehends all.
advancing.
The thing is, these guys are also tech boys, so they won't Skitarii. They have the flesh, reject the flesh thingy, so his thing is severe. This one here will hurt like a yeah. Bring it down.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
He's just that. Oh, no,
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
favorable.
Request approved.
There you go.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Yeah, let's just throw some nasty state effects at these guys, it's fun that way.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Fire!
Fight like a paw.
Run and gun. Can't kill the on the side, give them all some buff. A lot of plasma shots being fired in there.
Is that all you've got?
Watch.
With malice and grace.
With grace and malice.
That too. I'll get in the range I can charge.
It is.
Now these guys unfortunately are...
Don't just perfect killing
never mind.
strike.
I got him. I got him. I got him.
Watch.
Whee.
With grace.
This is just unleashing death, isn't he? What a defense point until here. There's got a shot on him. Can't hit him.
I understand your intent. Ancestors, guide me!
That guy took a big hit.
If it serves your cause. If I must.
Let's see if there are no points for this.
I am not your Xenos pet monkey.
Yeah, oh, good one, but let's get some points on it.
This tedium is beneath me.
I can boost it later. There you go with the Artfather. It's not so much shooting at me as shooting as AoE. Miss me. Right. Okay, I got invisible Onslaught.
They won't expect this.
Wolfar.
By claw and thigh, the foe will be torn asunder.
Okay, that's what guns. Miss. You missed the last one, unfortunately, but that's fine. So, I guess I should... Now's my turn. What can I actually aim at? I can aim at nobody. Only literally up here.
Poised for action.
Better. It's annoyingly located, but better.
I said, so done.
The really important guy did.
I know what to do.
Go wild hunt them. You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Witness my resolve! Didn't see that one coming, did you? As
That's
said,
like
so done.
5 rounds, quick. Cool. See the ones. Cool, I didn't.
Contemplate your weakness.
I'm done playing with you.
Course of battle. Lance sniper rifle. The other one's nest. See, this one's 30 to 45. Ah, that's you say this for when you're dealing with enemies big enemies. This is 43 to 55. Chorus of battle, mate.
They won't expect this. You clearly are outmatched. Let's set this in motion. Easy.
Oh, I missed. Ah well. We got one, that was fine. I got a cool power armor, I don't care.
Die in disgrace! Wolves raid! Become your father's worthy instrument! Corpse play!
My god, you were very accurate.
See how the wolf succeeds!
Yes, nice brainplay.
Do better than a wolf! Will carve runes out of your bones!
Round 2. So, we've wiped out most of Skitari. Just gonna put that out there.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful. Ability analysis successful. Running binary code.
Not in that much.
Request approved. Messiah condemns you.
You missed. I don't mind warning up on this one because it's Marazai.
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
It is handled.
See, then you have one. He's suddenly pinned, this looks like.
No. With grace and malice.
Not sure why he's.
Don't
I don't know if it's turn yet.
army, pray thing.
I remember it's not actually not his turn.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Yes, but we'll do it anyway.
If I may. Me. If you insist, Lord Captain.
Dodge. You already weren't that accurate. Now you're toast. Skitari, no more. lot of plasma pistols though. There's a lot of plasma pistols. There you go, already. Arc rifles. You know what? I'm grateful I took that thing out before I could shoot. Arc rifles are annoying when you got close proximity. We got two of those now, so that's fine. Ooh, Glow the Death Star. That's a good plasma rifle.
Marching ahead.
We wiped out everybody, claimed everything. Like golden. Woohoo! Okay. Oh, it's gonna be a big fight in it.
Let's see this through.
Brass Whisperer. The face of the tech priest standing opposite is hidden behind a brass mask. Rather than being one piece, it is assembled from the fragments of many augmentics. You have met this man before. He is called Brass Whisperer. A member of the Lord Inquisitor Calcazar has written you. I don't think Pascal's Pascal. I think Pascal is Armand. Armanat. There you are, tech brother. The Brass Whisperer's voice is raspy and punctuated. His gaze is turned towards Pascal. The salutatory procedure will be performed. An identification code verified after the priority request has been executed. Tell me where the blessed Amarant is. Pascal's voice clangs like steel. A cackled chuckle comes from behind the mask. You still don't understand. Marginally. He used to play a major part in the story, not anymore. This meeting is held upon my initiative. Brass Whisperer surveys Inquisition soldiers and warriors of the Omnissiah standing motionless. That said, I am still under the protection of the Lord Inquisitor and the Conqueror's fleet. Keep this in mind. If I kill everybody here, nobody's going to say a word. Little spoke of a ghost without a face. Did they mean you? Response affirmative. In order to move the Hermetico out of the possession of the damned, we had to disturb the pitiful locals. What is going on here? We intend to discontinue the cycle. Is that not obvious? There's a note of sarcasm in the Brass Whisperer's croaking voice. Speak, or I will rip your memories out along with the Ferrum Sanctum implanted in your brain. Pascal's enunciation to words, each word as he activates his drilling mechanite. What do you know of Amarnat? I think we are him. The hollow, pained laughter from behind the brass mask is amplified by its echo. I know everything. We're looking for the Archimagos, and we want answers. Looking? How absurd. You lack the very concept of what you are looking for, layman. You expect to find a man. And Armanat never was one. He was never one person. It's a collective. They are all Armanat. Each one is a different piece of him. That's the trick. That's why there's so many guys with the same identifier. They couldn't find him because he's not one person. Excuse me. He's not one person. He is multiple people. And Pascal is the strongest influence of them. That's why that's what makes it so hard. Amanat never appeared in person or appeared via pic recording to the Cognizant fleet because he is not one person. He is many people in one form. He never was one person. The Amanat Collective was created by a group of tech priests who renounced individuality and merged into a hive mind, a mind that resonated algorithmically but was guided by the principles and convictions of righteous spirit. A superego that brought them one step closer to the Omnissiah. You are looking for Archmagos Amanat, you say? Something clicks inside the Rasmus's mask. His voice grows loud and harsher as if coated in liquid metal. He has been by your side all this time. This statement is false. The hypothesis is without... Rasmus interrupts with a forceful shout. As the cycle coils in multitudinous loops, it intersects with itself and locks us in a cage of data vows. Pascal shudders if struck by the motive force itself. Mechanandrites rise like steel wings behind his shoulders. The voice from his vox speaker takes on an overly profundity of power, and therefore the cycle must be discontinued. Pascal turns his gaze to you, his pupils burning bright with celestial fire. A single word escapes from his vox. Restoration. Cognitive restoration. Reconstructive mechanism activated. The memory is awakening inside you. Rasmus was shaken by a violent coughing fit. Then he shouts ferociously, "Remember!" The Amanat Collective was designed to be a philosopher and a researcher. The concepts he produced were so powerful that they almost destroyed the Cognizant's fleet. But he faced an unsolvable dilemma. That was when Amanat came apart. The 6 constitutive servants of the Omnissiah hid their own memories. Behind false personas, and were sent off to various parts of the Coronis expanse. They went into hiding. Each had to live in solitude for many decades, accumulating individual observations before eventually bringing the experience back to the reunited Amanat, who would then tackle the dilemma once more. That would be the restoration. Essentially, he hit a snag with his logic deduction and decided, you know what? If we're going to figure this out, we have to go out our own separate ways, collect some data, and approach this and see if we can get some new angle to approach this one with. Approach the problem. Sorrow echoes in Pascal's inhuman voice. The years have slipped through my fingers like sand. It was such a long time ago. Your companion is overwhelmed and pensive. On all part of him. Yes, 6 mental keynotes. Dementes was paranoia. After separation, he sensed that his memory was a web of lies, and that feeling drove him into the depths of madness. Tarsus was faith, fiery and unyielding. And Samantha was logic, unclouded by emotion or valued judgments. Abel was her good twin, imagination. He did not know his past, just like the others, but he felt more than they did. He was always different. That's why he was the first to get close to the restoration. One of the first. Pascal was judgment, the moderator of cognitive process, the one who makes the decision. The voice rises to the vault of the observatorium and rumbled beneath it like thunder. And Nihil, the brass mask starts to unlock. Losing sound, the augmentics bend back, revealing a face disfigured by burns, a woman's face, with a pair of darkly radiant, vibrant eyes. Skepticism, the one who doubts. Ah, she's Nihil. So the skeptic has been wiping out the others. Problem. We've wiped out some of the other guys. Or they've died. But we took their data cores. So, technically speaking, if we find all the data cores, we could technically put ourselves Amanats back together again. Did he believe he could reform? Form again? Sounds risky. The restoration was statistically calculated on a level beyond your comprehension, layman. Billions of variables were taken into account. Countless scenarios went into the development of optimal strategies. Two Amanat units meeting each other was inevitable certainty. The matching identifiers were to be a spark that would start a chain reaction. And that was precisely what happened. A ringing brittleness enters Pascal's voice. We were motivated by the perfect stimuli. Curiosity, anxiety, shame. Each part of us was hostage to the legend of the betrayal it had committed. For suffering drove us to search and strive. And what was the dilemma he faced? Its name was Escantos. Escantos, the secret to the right of putting machine spirit to death. A technology embodying the discontinuing of the cycle. Was it meant to exist, or was it an acronym of profanity against the Omnissiah and his creation? Pascal's continues brassmental speech in a lofty tone. Escantos was the perfect weapon against creations of the Omnissiah that had been corrupted by enemies, but also against his faithful servants. Its spread could bring victory to the Imperium, or it could destroy it. Escantos could spell the end of the Adeptus Mechanicus, for it was the perfect answer to power wielded by the cult of the Machine God. Was it a blessing or a curse? So essentially here they had a way to forcibly take out the entire machine. Adeptus Mechanicus, all of them. Boom, gone. So it could destroy his enemies, but it could also annihilate the Imperium. I mean, when someone think about it, the Adeptus Mechanicus, forms like 1/4 of the Imperium's fighting force, if you want to separate into the factions. You got the Astra Militarum. I don't count the Long Inquisitors guys, they're sort of wandering on their own little thing, steam on their own little boat here. But the main fighting forces are the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Astra Militarum, the Adeptus Astartes, and the Adeptus Soriatus. Then you've got the Inquisitorial forces and the other guys. But the Adeptus Mechanicus is the one responsible for everybody's machines. The tech priests, who, service the Astartes' weapons, the Astra Militarum's equipment, the Lord Inquisitors' stuff, the Astra Militarum, the Adeptus Soriatus. All the other factions rely on the Adeptus Mechanicus to function and keep their gear, their war gear going, to make them weapons, to get them their armor made, maintain their ships. If they spoke something like that, used that against them and destroyed the Adeptus Mechanicus and crippled the machine spirits across the Empire, across the Imperium could be destroyed, taken down by its enemies in like a day or two. They could be wiped out like nothing. They'd get obliterated. It won't work on the Tao's forces or the forces of the Aldari because their machine spirits are different. The coding is different. It might work on the Chaos guys because a lot of their machines are based on the Imperial stuff. Corrupted, but still based. So attack the baseline, but the Aldari developed differently. There was no answer. Protraction was unacceptable, and so a way was found to shelve this issue. Gives a raspy sigh, and I found the answer. Escantos should not exist. We will correct our mistake. The power of machine negation, a noonspheric signal that interrupts any and all life created by the Omnissiah. The power that I used to tap into unconsciously. Shared knowledge lay dormant inside the mind of every Armament unit. You tried to decrypt the other Hanuman's neural commutators, didn't you? Did you not? But to no avail. It was you who created the cipher that locked their memory. You are the main hunter. You try to kill the other Hanumans. This statement is true. I admitted it to the Lord Inquisitor's retinue. I was admitted to the Lord Inquisitor's retinue and authorized to study the dangerous artifact taken from Armanat. It tried to exert some kind of influence on me, but my data valves protected me. Nihil Animan touches her scarred face. A short circuit awakened some of my memories. I conducted an analysis and solved the Escos dilemma and began to act. My agents all but terminated Tazus, but he hid under an armor of martyrdom and insanity. An attempt to intercept Pascal and alter Tempton Galaxis XC-17 failed because Abel had summoned him. The assassins caught up to him, and the Reich had Minor starport, but he was able to escape again. Another group went after Abel, or to perish at the Electro Priest Monastery. Dude, you've been attacking the... You dispatched Dementors, who had lapsed into heresy. Axiomantha simply disappeared until she suddenly turned up dead on Nerfus 2. I have no idea how she managed to hide from me. Idiot Calcazar was harboring accident the whole time. She was working for him. I'm registering a lie. The Lord Inquisitor shared my conviction. Matt's legacy had to be destroyed. He was summoned to Coronis Expanse by loyal members of the Code to depose Amanat. It was his troops. They attempted to obliterate the No. So that is how you got aboard the ship and into the Observatorium. Nihil. Our traitorous tech comrades gave Calcazar the access codes to the bridge, and he gave them to you. Acute conviction vibrates in Pascal's voice as he makes the quiet statements of fact. He's not asking questions, he is passing judgment. You were deceived, sister. Calcazar appropriated our work. He continued our research, no longer bound by the Omnissiah's cannon. And you enabled him by destroying those who could return and reclaim his bloody prize. Lies! Something you have not heard before creeps in Nihil's voice. A note of fear. With a mixture of pain and pride, Rasmus replies, we all choose the path of martyrdom. I merely helped them reach the supreme goal at the end of that path. With Imperial Metallic Tech Brother, I offer you a chance to yield peacefully to the fate that will please the Omnissiah. Do not resist your termination, and you will pass to oblivion as my friend and fellow believer. Pascal's reply sweeps Nihil's words away like a gust of wind. His optical visor turns blinding you. No, Tech Sister. I am an explorator, a reconnoiter of knowledge. I have brought fire to 100 worlds. I have gleaned 1,000 secrets in the darkness. I am an agent of unbridled will. I will not yield to oblivion, for oblivion itself fears me. This is my companion, Pascal Hanneman, and you made a mistake in meddling with him. You wanted me to awaken, Tech Sister. Here I am, holding you to account. Nihil's disfigured lips twist and sees dismay sprout in her voice. I lured you here for a reason, Pascal. I want you to see what our fellow followers have become. This is what the deviation from dogma ends in. Breach of canon begets ignorance. Ignorance begets blasphemy. All we did was breed corruption. Schism. Remember when they came to depose us? We resisted them and destroyed the ship. I see a relic, an Arch Mechanicus, older than our priesthood itself. Here in this hall, we released Escantos and allowed an uncontrollable heresy to happen. Do you remember? Do you remember how you got your left claw, your cleft jaw? Pascal looks thoughtful as he touches the crack running across his armoured respirator. A green spark runs through the deep gash left by an enemy's weapon in the metal. And it sufficed for you to merely show up in the expanse after the schism to rear its head once more. The Cosmic Fleet was already being torn apart by a fratricidal war. Is that what we wanted? Let us finish this. Let us discontinue the cycle. Now the words of the one who once called herself Brass Whisperer sound more like a plea. The voice that answers is no human voice. It could belong to a giant void ship or a forge world if it would speak. You violated procedure, skepticism. You usurped the function of another. You challenge only. You do not make decisions. I do. So her job is to challenge, be the challenger for the other guys. And each one of the group makes until Pascal comes up with the thing. I could pick the you must not fight. We are surrounded by enemies. Enough blood has been shed. But yeah, I would love to pick that one. Here's the thing, I have to go with this particular one. It's a good. I'm not sure which one. I mean, technically speaking, the iconoclast in me says I should try and stop this. Gives the Pascal a look of despair. The decision is his to make, and I have made it. The Send the Mechadite direct causing the hell pronounces. Text sister, my judgment of you and your actions is one of condemnation. Tampering with procedure is unacceptable. Sabotaging the experiment is apostrophe. For your betrayal, your vital functions will be terminated in the name of the Messiah discontinuing. Burning her true flesh, draining her life force from her augmentics and catapult. But she focuses her will and strikes back at Pascal with a pulse of her own. A rattling voice no longer human rages and roars like a forest fire. I refuse to recognize you as the Messiah. I do not believe in you. That is your problem. You have always been too skeptical.
Another battle demands our attention.
Stand your ground!
Blast Whisper Disciple. The Soto's gonna be annoying. But most of the Inquisition guys are gonna be annihilated. There's a battle between the Pascalians. What was I going on here? Oh, Side Suppressor. That's okay, he's not a Psy character. She's Psy. How's that done? Hide behind the big guy. That's why the machine threat banishment. Him and Nihal are gonna have a fight. She has more health than me, and I'm better. Especially when I do something like that. Let's see, where's my destroy shoot people one? Can't get them all, but I can get these two. You guys do the overpower.
Running binary override.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easily enough people for this.
Request approved.
Poof, 7. Nice, Yelty. Yeah, my guys. So, all my Mazarite afterwards. Yeesh. Dear God, this.
I deal death with my hands.
Yep. I only got one though per thing, so that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, should do this.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
Enhance my ability to get us critical. Also, there's at least 5 people here. So let me just boost my own thing. Don't know if I can or not. Gonna go for him. Who's actually going next in the turn order? Nihal is the first person, execution at the back is.
I understand.
I don't have the Q-shot one, but it's fine.
It is handled. It would be beneath me to even attempt it. at the prey.
What the? Mazurai, where you going?
Oblivion approaches. Build. Don't dis-
So just be on the safe side. I'm going to dash it in.
Build.
So by doing that, I am going to make so they can't do their stuff.
Slow and painful is the way.
By standing next to them, I can cut the ability to shoot.
Watch. With grace and manners.
Skitya! My Karamite hide is strong!
So you force them to run back and change the position.
Bring it on.
I know what to do.
Ulfa.
By the wolf's eye! Perish!
Point blank range. Oh, that's better though. Not sure how he exploded, but that's fine. Kick. Get out there. You're too close, get a kick. Back to him now.
As said, so done.
He has already lost like 200 health.
Let's set this in motion.
There's no need to putting on the
Easy. As said, so done. Done and done.
say if it didn't kill him, he would be killed by that.
They won't expect this. I know what to do.
Yeah, I know he will.
Easy.
Can I hit him? I can actually hit him.
As said, so done. That's how it's done.
Well, there goes the Inquisition, boys. One after the other. Oh, shot! Look at Wild Hunt. Get some else shots off.
For the dynasty! Contemplate your weakness.
What on earth are they doing? What's going on? Apart from having a wound. Hey, the wound's gone back to full again. Cool. Also, Pascal's destroyer thing has been weakening up. You're slowed.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Yes, but you've we'll do it anyway, same anyway, so.
Wolves reign. So shall it be. My hand is thunder. My strike is ruin.
You guys are toast.
See how the wolf. So it shall be.
Yeah, I used those points, but that's fine. It wasn't even his
Me?
turn.
If you insist, Lord
Turn comes
Captain.
next.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
I think I just nailed Abel. All the hiding over there.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Ah, it's a good fight, yeah.
Dogs play.
Let's see, I did a.
None can do this with
I'm a member.
I got a free shot.
See how
This flamethrower's good. I mean, this flamethrower's really good.
wolves reign. I will carve runes out of your bones.
Do that. Do that. Now we can go over here and we can do some damage. Most because we can hit it with a kick.
The wolf is on the hunt.
Aye aye. Pushka. I do death by put.
So it shall be. Die in disgrace.
This guy is whooping them. Yeah, they're limited this so coming after me now, but I just wiped out a good chunk of their units before the end of round 2. They're doing something freaky over there, I'm not sure what it is, but she's doing something freaky. I don't like it.
The Omnissiah knows all. Comprehend.
Pop up.
Dealing damage to bulk.
Those guys over here. Only him.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
I don't like this, we're getting out of here.
Swift and silent. Hear you moving. No
No
more.
more. Spin shot.
I am not your.
I'm not
If it
entirely
serves
sure
your
what she's up to,
cause.
but I'm taking it down now. Could we get there with a dispatch?
My heart sings with the thrill of battle.
Ouch! Oh, that's an insta-gib. Set this on you.
I am not a vessel for pain. I am its master.
I'm not sure what Nihal's doing. Let's see, if we go there. Now charge, will you actually go where I'm supposed to go this
I
time?
yearn for agony. Don't distract me.
I think this place is better.
It is.
You broke your cover. Good for you, I suppose?
With grace. What a useless plaything. Broken already?
Yum. I can't get over to you and turn. I don't have the ability to charge over there. Ouch. That really hurt.
That one coming, did you?
Yeah, double team.
They won't expect this.
Oh, I dodged the second one.
Easy.
Stay down.
Costly mistake.
Stop. Thou shalt not create a schism. Thou shalt not suffer a heretic. At the hand of a deity, Mechanandra extends over Nihal's lying convulsing on the floor deck. I do not want this, Tech Sister, but the procedure must be completed. Farewell. It calls carefully removes a mangled, covered neural commutator from Brass Whisperer's head. The tech priest shudders, and peace descends over her disfigured face. The ghost-like figure in red approaches you cautiously. Enormous sad eyes look at you from its aesthetic face. Doubt has been shunned. The dominant of prejudice has ended. Abel's voice resonates within the same otherworldly profanity that has filled Pascal's vox. This statement is true. Only imagination and judgment are left. Our directive is to conceptualize the future we desire and bring it into being. The Tech Priest looks the same as before, yet different. His morbid aura of martyrdom has given way to a calm and powerful halo of purposefulness. His Mechanandrites move with the grace of an inscrutable dance. The scars left by loss and doubt have turned into dark threads on a radiant body confined within his confident in his next step. And his voice, a voice born from the nuclear font of a star and hardened the cold of the interplanetary void. Pascal remains motionless. Only a short barbaric aria comes from his vox. You feel oddly confident that your gesture of respect has been appreciated and received favorably. The voice from the vox is like a tolling of bells summoning a host of angels. I declare the period of ignorance over, and will resume execution of the general algorithm. Integrity has been rehabilitated to a satisfactory degree. Memory access has been restored. I remember everything. Pascal turns to you and gives you a long look brimming with quiet elation. May the shattered mirror reassemble and reflect thy whole light wholly in you. This statement is true. Pascal's stock phrase sounds more complex and more human than before. I carry within me his memory and his logical foundation. I am us. I am Amanat. Abel points to Pascal's Mechanandrites and says softly, "They have always remembered. They always preserved. Thank you for the path we walked." Pascal bows. His thin shoulders seem to take an eternity to descend from the heights that his mind has soared to. And I am sorry about what happened to Theodora. Did you know Theodora? We were allies. She entrusted me with studying a trophy she had obtained. Voxman's voice grows quiet and hoarse, as though coming from a distant past. We, Amanat, discovered the basic way of communicating with it. We developed her weapons, the great strain of tech blight, for her. It terrified me, so I developed its antidote. The Escontant. The Escantos. A concept for the ultimate interruption of machine life. Ah, so he made the tech blight. They made the tech blight, and then feeling, well, really bad while doing that, created an antidote that could be used to stop it in its tracks. That was why every one of our shards was located so close to you and to the Von Valance's domain. We were counting on her finding us and extending us her aid and protection. What are you, or what were you? A higher form of intelligence, a collective of computational tools freed from the limitation of individualism and the aberrations that stem from having a distinct personality, and at the same time a collective bound by a single set of principles that are of equal importance to all, bring pure faith in the Omnissiah and acting for the benefit of humanity. Being pure faith and acting for the benefit. That's why there were 6 of them. As I said, each one had their own thing. Skepticism and paranoia were there to keep the other guys in check, or to question their motives and keep them thinking on it. Faith was there to push forward brilliantly. Imagination was there to create new ideas and see things differently. All would present their arguments, and then judgment would take over and pronounce verdict and the path forward. Essentially, the other 5 had to convince. There were 5 others, and they had to convince judgment on how to see things moving forward. We were different. Each one of us considered the prospects of such an experiment. But I was the first to gain the resolve to attempt it. Nihil joined the project to effect control over it. She regarded the experiment as dangerously close to a blasphemous act of creation. The Conclave had ordered her to end my research, but she became convinced of the possibility of its success. I must admit, the more these guys will have their hive mind thing, the more they can function and perform their acts. Nihil reinforced our union with the prudence of Dementes, a meticulous and reserved auditor, a danger seeker. I strengthened our genius with the fiery faith of the warrior Tarzus, in order to banish the shadows of false ideas. Axomantha, who teetered on the brink of becoming a Malatek, was chosen by us for her loyalty to ruthless logic and her cold scrutiny, or indeed, dissection of our theories. Yeah, makes sense. So each one was picked. So Nihil was there to keep balance, keep order on things, challenge and keep things going. Dementes was there to find potential flaws and potential problems. And she was there, and the twins were there to use cold logic to pick apart their decisions, their theories. Abel, Pascal Gates was the last surviving tech comrade, Our quiet genius, the caged genius of imagination, the abstract artist of code. His talent completed the collective and made it whole. You can't go forward. You can't with creation. You can't go forward without imagination. If you cannot imagine something new, something you cannot bring it to be. What's next? What is the general algorithm? A judgment must be passed. Should the secret of Escantos exist, or be shunned as a false path? And should I exist, that is we, Amanat. A soft by-hand melody full of sadness and solemn resolve pours from Abel's vox. You have not heard it before. You would never thought the Bahenic language could be so comprehensible to one who does not bear the mark of the Omnissiah's iron blessing. Everything Amanat was at the moment of this connection has now awoken in my mind. We are at the point where we must stop where we stopped. But the Amanat collective was envisioned as a dynamic structure. We need new minds. If I bid you to follow, will you come with me, Ted Comrade? We will be the core. The collective can be replenished with worthy minds from among those aboard the Hermetico. Sincerity is present within their motive and faith. They are intuitively capable of comprehending the notion of discontinuing the cycle. Our collective memory can compensate for their lack of knowledge and memory. Right, restoration is possible. Pascal, or what used to be known as Pascal, makes a sacred gesture and green sparks run down his mechanical arm. But the judgment must be passed first. Pascal casts a sorrowful gaze at Nihal's body, his voice full of wisdom and weariness. We have seen many things over the decades. We have seen true corruption, distortion of desired signs, Kiva Gamma, Irfratus II, the planet of Xenos passed into oblivion, our own crimes, the darkness grows, there must be fire to burn it away. I am leaning towards the idea that Escantos is necessary, that Amanat is necessary. Abel's eyes were silent for a while, and says, "We have made great sacrifices." This statement is enigmatic. I request an expanded interpretation. Abel gives you a sideways glance and says sorrowfully, "Self-sacrifice must not be in vain." Pascal nods with an air of authority and says, "I thank you both. The information has been noted and submitted for analysis." A shower of sparks burst from the power unit inside Pascal's shoulders, burning holes in his thick scarlet hood. An act of self-sacrifice. I will destroy the data concerning this technology and the methods of reproducing it. I will burn it out of my neural circuits, along with everything that led to its creation. Amanat will be no more. Only a damaged, incomplete shard of him will remain. Pascal Hammerman. We need Escantos, but we also need Pascal. Hello, Lycus. But yeah, that's a good trade on that one. We need. I'm not sure what would happen if we take him. Oh, we're rid of him, I should say. This is a good question, this one. Do we get rid of... I mean, does choosing that get rid of Amanat? I mean, technically speaking, it's still there. The cycle will be discontinued. So, if we blast through the thing and we get rid of that, hold on, I need to clear my throat. We need Escantos, but we also need Pascal. I'm not sure what sort of path I've pushed him on, to be honest. There's grating overtones of pain in the god's voice. So great is the temptation to preserve my personhood and yet hold on to the power of Escantos. My own thirst to yield to that temptation is what allows me to pass the judgment. I have no idea if I've actually pushed them towards this. I think I've chosen the path at some point, chosen options and dialogue choices. Let's face it, it's a blind playthrough, to be honest, so I don't know if I've actually chosen the options required to make him pick which path he wants to pick. Do what you have decided to do. Pascal throws back his head, and the power brimming in the voice was just forth like a flood. It's all dark omens. I saw my tech comrades and I were trapped in the cycle, spiraling towards nothingness. I hereby effect a restoration and revive the Amanat Collective. Need a Messiah who will discontinue their cycle. I am him. Actually, I can see Sword of Wisdom is the choice. I actually see a Sword of Wisdom here. If you just leave the collective as alone, the mechanics as alone as it is, they'll just keep going down the same path, doing the same thing, and they'll stagnate, decay, and just rot. Whereas if you've got something like that on the other side, give them a nudge every now and again to go through their own thing. I don't know what the discontinuation. I don't know what the path he's chosen is. I looked at the little guide for this thing. It says there's 3 paths. I did not know this. No, continue. I may have pushed him along the path, Amaran path, or the discontinuation path. The Action tries folks, the ignorant fosterings of the Umpire, slip into the auditorium hall like silent shadows, led by an intuitive grasp of the second significance of the moment. They automatically gather in a circle, heeding Pascal's summons. Perhaps at this point, someone else's. So my throat is really detailed now. You hear echoes of the other voices in Pascal's. A touch of demented anxiety, of Tazos' zeal, of Axim Manfred's pensiveness. They all fuse into a new voice, full of wisdom and confidence. In his prerogative to lead, the voice of Archmagus Armanat, and this voice takes hold of the lips of your companions' new brothers and sisters. The ancient tech priests, in turn, priest turn his gaze towards you. Say with Gratus, let the cycle be discontinued. I'm guessing we've picked out some. He's picked out some new dudes. Hi. So is that it? The ceremony over? Ooh. Nice. Okay, that's all good stuff. It's all stuff we've had before. Okay, I'm not sure what sort of path we've got cycled to any of these characters. Apparently the choices give me paths. No clue what those paths are, but they're there.
Operation successful.
So do I like tow somebody or what? Cool. I'm guessing if things are now good.
Stay sharp.
I mean it's also there, so guess we go home. Bye guys. Learn to fly the ship. And for the love of God, repair it. We took a massive punt damage hit off Nihil. But she'd grown, the skeptic has grown too much. We're observing a large quadrant of Adeptus Mechanicus forces. Many of the ships are badly damaged, judging by the position of the... they have decided to divide into 2 groups. I dare say they were fighting not long ago. I'm picking up a signal from one of the ships. Dynasty vessel. You are being hailed by a representative of the fleet. Query. Is a statement that the Messiah is considered fallen come back true? I think it will be discontinued true. They wish to know if their fratricidal battle should continue. Anything I should answer? Those who remain loyal to him to put an end to the unbelievers and thus mend the schism. I think that's a case of keep fighting and go for it. I don't like that option. That one sounds bad. I think the other option's better. I mean, loyal to him to put an end to the unbelievers. Oh, I don't like those. Can I save? Can't save. Mistake will be corrected. With faith, the cycle will be discontinued. Does that mean they stop fighting each other? I'm guessing they've decided, okay. But we're also at the end of the stream, so. The return. Yeah. And when we come back, we have to do her quest. Then we're gonna go here and find out what on earth is going on. Because the Lord Inquisitor has lost a few of his retainers in the sector. I don't think there's many of his guys left. We'll also talk to Pascal and see what's going on. Yeah, we'll ignore this entirely. Yeah, I've still got a lot of rumours going around. There's a lot of rumours around, but that's for next time. So we come back, we'll head north, somehow go deal with her quest. I'll do her level up before we get there, so she actually levels, she's ready for it. And then we'll head south back to the Inquisitor and smack the Lord Inquisitor around the head a few times so he tells what's going on. So until then, I shall catch you all later. See ya.